Hey guys, hello and good day to everyone who is watching. For today's video, I'll be teaching you guys the basic principles of video editing based on my personal experience, particularly using Davinci Resolve 17. So first of all, why should we learn video editing? Well, as you can see nowadays, everyone now is inclined to online mode of learning, which is also a trend, and most people are already inclined to video editing as showing their video editing skills online to amuse or entertain people on social media platforms such as YouTube, TikTok, and etc., which could also be a source of income in some ways. Notably, the main reason why should is that there is a high chance that your professor or will require you to create a video as a course requirement, which may use the video editing skills. How to download the Davinci Resolve. So open a web browser. So in this case, I will be opening Chrome. In the address field, you will type www.blackmagicdesign/products/Davinci Resolve. And the first link will pop up. Make sure it is the official website. Next, on the Davinci Resolve landing page, you can see here the free download. Just click on free download, and you have here the options. So recently they have already now the Davinci Resolve 18, but it's still a beta version, so I don't recommend you guys downloading it. So in our case, I'll be downloading Davinci Resolve Studio 17. Your computer operating system, either you click the Mac OS or the Windows. Here you have the options. You can register and download to have a official serial number, or you can just simply click download only. In our case, I'll be clicking download only. So since I already downloaded this file, I'll be not showcasing it anymore, since just like other typical software that you install on your computer or laptop device, just follow the instructions to complete the installation afterwards. So now that have you installed the application, let's open the application. Just type Davinci Resolve. So upon opening, you can see all your recent project files here, and if you are still a new user, you will only see untitled project. So to start a project, just simply double click the untitled project to open a new project. So before we begin to some of the basic principles of editing, we'll be exploring first the features that the Davinci can offer. So upon opening the software, we have here the cat page, so in which we have the media pool, which stores your library of your clips from the media storage. Then we also have the viewer as the Davinci call it, which previews the video clips provided on the timeline. So here is the timeline. So I don't normally use this page, because you can edit and you can still cut, trim, or split on the edit page. So next we have the edit page. This is where mainly you edit your video clips, all of the effects, adding transitions, adding clips on timeline. The next page we have Fusion page. This is basically where advanced editing happens. So basically this is the page where you edit customs, animations, transitions. Next we have the color page. So this is basically where you color grade your video quality. Next page we have the audio page, or what Davinci call it as the Fairlight page. This is basically where you edit or improve your audio quality. Lastly, we have the livery page, the racket icon. So basically here is where you export your file and render your final video out. Now that we have explored the features, the pages that the Davinci can offer, let's now begin with the basic principles of video editing. Let's now first begin with adding a clips on a timeline. So how do you add a clip on a timeline? So go to a File Explorer. So particularly we're going to use the edit page, as it is basically all the you need is commonly found on the edit page. So this is also where I personally edit all my clips. So I don't normally use media and cut. I always skip these two pages. I just go directly on the edit page, which makes it more convenient and easy. So open the File Explorer and open the file that you would like to insert. So in this case, I'll be using an example for my PE dance video as a course requirement, specifically for week 9. So by adding a adding a clip on the timeline, simply drag the clip on the timeline from the file explorer. Then it will automatically update your media pool. So actually, that's the fastest way of adding a clip on a timeline. You can also Control C. You can also add your video clip on the media pool, but it will not pop on the timeline. Then from the media pool, you drag the clip into your timeline to insert a clip. Next basic principle, which is how to trim, cut, and or perhaps splitting a video clip. So now that you have inserted a video clip, there are various ways to cut or trim your video. So the first easiest way is just simply dragging the first part of your video clip. Just drag it to whatever seconds you want. So in this case, let's say here, so since there are so many dead air, so I'm just gonna drag it there. So that's the easiest way of trimming a clip. Other way of cutting the clip is by using the blade tool. So just press B on your keyboard or just select this. If you can see it's highlighted, it means that it's already selected. So make sure before you use this, make sure you selected the clip, the video clip. So in our case, since again this is so many dead air, I won't be using this anymore. So I'm just gonna cut this. Let's see here, I think. Okay, then we're just going to select the red preview cursor line, the vertical line. Then there you go, you have splitted the clips into two video. So just simply, so in delete or in cutting, we have two options. It's either you press backspace on your keyboard, which leaves you a big space, then deletes the clip, or you can use the press delete button, which basically delete the clip and adjust it automatically the length of your video. For our next, now that we know how to edit or trim, trim videos, now let's move to our next basic principle, which is adding basic effects or adding basic transitions on your video clip. So in our case, the most common way or the most basic one is adding fade in, fade out effects on your clip. So how do you add fade in? So in fade in, just simply select the clip, and as you can see here, there is a white cursor looking. If you hover your mouse here on the top right or top left part of your video clip, just simply drag it to how many seconds you want or how long. Then same with the ending part. Just go back here, select this clip again, and simply drag the white cursor to your preference time of how long it will fade out. So as you can see there, yeah, it will fade out. So that's the most basic effect. Now that we know how to add effects, how to add fade in, fade out basic effects, we also have complex effects here. As you can see here, we have the effect bars, which basically can add clips, certain titles transition, video transition, basic effects made in Davinci Resolve. So these are preset titles, effects, and generators. In our case, just simply drag the clip that you like. For example, we have, let's see, simply drag the thing inside the timeline. Then to edit this, you will go to Inspector tab. So if you can see the Inspector tab, just select this. Then as you can see, the red suddenly turned blue. It means that it's done rendering for smooth playback. So for smooth preview. So if it's red, it's still rendering the clip. So let's change this instance. And to edit the line color, you can see here the options that you want to edit. So in this case, I'll be choosing orange color. There you go, you added your first intro or first basic title. So, as you can see, it's still rendering the clip, particular clip. So if it's blue, it's now smooth. There you go. I think that's it. We cover all the basic principles of video editing. Since this is also a part of my course requirement, I'll be finishing this clip. Then I will teach you how to export our last tutorial, which exporting a video. Okay guys, now that I finished editing my video for my course requirement on FW03-1, now I'll be teaching you guys now our last step for our basic principle tutorial, which is exporting a video. So after editing your video output, just go to delivery page, the last icon. Now here you have an options whether you could there are already presets export settings, such as if you want to upload it on YouTube, Vimeo, Twitter. So these are presets. But in my case, I'll be showing you guys how I edit it on a custom setting, which you will basically need it. So first, type your browser file location, since this is actually my after locating your file location, make sure your render is single clip, since it is a whole clip. The important part here is editing your format. So by default, your export setting is on QuickTime. So make sure that the format is MP4, as it was the standard format for video output for MP, and it is basically a universal format. So make sure it is on MP4. Then for our codec by default, and of course resolution, you can either choose 720 or 1280 depending on your preference, and make sure your suggested frame rate is 29.97. So I forgot to mention, if you want to change the project frame rate of your clip, just go to project settings, then here you can edit the playback frame rate. For more info regarding this, I will be providing actually later on a full details about this. Then by default, just copy what I'm using. Then after editing your preference, just click add to render queue. Then here, just click render all. Then there you go. Now your file or your video is rendering. Then just wait it for the video to render. Then it will export automatically on your browser file location. So now that we have exported our first MP4 file, you can now then apply this fundamental knowledge to other software application as well, since almost every layout and interface are similar, and also the shortcuts used. The only difference based on my personal experience are its interface, design, and the features it offers. Also, compared to other software applications, if you're starting out video editing, I highly suggest this software, as aside from it is an open source, which meaning free to use, it is also user friendly to beginners. As technology advances, you may the minimum RAM you should have is at least 16 gigs of RAM. Now compare before, I only use 8 gig of RAM, but again, as time goes on, as technology advances, the minimum now is 16 gig. Also, you can apply this knowledge to mobile software applications. Also, if I'm not mistaken, I started doing it on mobile phone. Last tip that I could give you guys before I end the video, I highly suggest, as times go on, you may encounter a lot of problems or perhaps challenges when editing. When you do, just search it on YouTube. That's the biggest tip I can give you guys. Everything, since there are already a lot of content creators on YouTube, regarding the software, which the Davinci Resolve. If you want to know further advanced tutorials regarding Davinci Resolves, if you want to know the styles that will help you or techniques, I highly suggest you this channel. I'll be leaving it in the description down below, which is a known as Video Editing in a Minute. I highly suggest this channel. And I think that's it, guys. Thank you for watching. I hope you learned something from me, and I do hope I inspired some of you guys to continue video editing. That's it.